everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to showcase all of the handbags that I have purchased in the year of 2025. I just thought the end of the year is upon us. We are now in the month of December and I cannot believe it. I started my YouTube journey earlier this year and one of the first videos I put out were all of the handbags that I purchased in 2024. And if you haven't watched that video, I'll be sure to link it at the end of this one so that you could go back and watch. But one thing I remember sharing in that video is that in 2024, I felt like overindulged in my handbag purchases. I purchased 8 in total. And so I predicted for 2025, I wasn't gonna purchase that much, maybe 3, potentially 4 handbags. I knew that there were 1 or 2 on my list that were a must. But lo and behold, here we are many months later at the end of the year, and I have once again purchased 8 handbags as well as acquired 3 vintage pieces from my sister. And so today I'm going to share all of those purchases with you. And at the end of this video, I may predict what may or may not happen with my handbag purchases in 2026. And I guess we'll see next year how I hold up to that. For those of you who are new here, my name is Avni and I make videos on my luxury purchases, luxury reviews, as well as some lifestyle videos as I navigate my 40s in New York City. If you enjoy this content, please be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my future videos. For those of you who are not new here, welcome back. I'm happy to see you again. As I go through each of these handbags, I'm trying my best to make my videos as succinct as possible. So if I share something about a handbag purchase that interests you and I don't cover or I don't answer some of the questions that you have about those handbags, please go ahead and leave a comment below. I will be sure to read your comments and engage with you and answer any questions that you might have. With that said, let's start. So I'm going to share them in chronological order of when I purchased and or acquired them. And I will say that my purchases this year ranged from mid-range price points, so handbags that typically retail for a couple upwards of a few $100s. So think of brands like APC, Mansur Gavriel. The range goes all the way up to tippy top luxury handbags like Chanel, which can cost you in the thousands. We're gonna start off with a bang. The very first handbag I purchased this year was a Chanel. Back when I thought I was only going to purchase 3, maybe 4 handbags throughout the year because I didn't feel I had a need for more handbags, I still don't. One of the wish list items in those original 3, maybe 4 purchases was a new Chanel handbag. I knew I wanted a mini classic flap, and earlier this year I actually went into the Chanel boutique in Midtown Manhattan and I was looking at ballet flats. At that time, I just thought it's worth looking at what colorways they had in a mini classic flap. I already have a black classic flap, Chanel medium size, and I have a white Chanel top handle bag. So I knew I didn't want a black or white handbag. I was gonna also steer away from neutrals. I really wanted a pop of color. While in the Chanel boutique for that visit, I did end up purchasing a small classic flap. They didn't have any leather colors that I liked, and I was okay with that. I wasn't gonna rush the decision. I knew I was going to pop into Chanel's, not only in the city, but maybe on any travels we took abroad, places like Europe, and the right color in the mini would present itself at some point in 2025. But I really lucked out on that trip. It wasn't leather, but the SA told me she had a really cute, sweet colorway, mini classic flap in a tweed, and that is how I purchased this sweet, cutie classic flap in this multicolor pastel tweed. It is so, so special. I also really appreciated that the colors in this, like the pinks and the purples, which can seem a little adolescent, these were in the most perfect shade of pinks and purples that it gave it a level of maturity. With all the multicolors, I can now outfit this with a number of different outfits, colors, spring, summer. I even think I could pull this off in the winter months with a nice black outfit. I haven't yet, but I'm so grateful that in talking with the sales associate that day, she shared this new inventory that they had just received. While she was showing this to me, a couple of the SAs who were also working on that day asked her, oh, when did that come in? And she said, it came in this morning. And I was lucky enough to be the one to purchase it. Even when I was wearing it in France, we went into a couple of the Chanel's in Paris and then in South of France, and the SAs there were like, oh my gosh, when did you get this? And they were oohing and awing over it. So I really feel like I made the right purchase with this. If you want to know more about this purchase, I actually made a video specifically unboxing this bag. So please be sure to look back at my channel and you will find the unboxing video there. So as you can imagine, that purchase was a big one. I'm so happy to have it in my collection, but with making such a large purchase early in the year, I really thought I'd still stick to only buying a couple more handbags based on needs in my closet and voids that I have, which is going to bring me to the next two handbags that I purchased, I believe at the same time. I can't remember if it was from the same retailer site, but they're two different brands, and these are mid-range bags. So the first is this Mansur Gavriel mini handbag. It's called the Mini Lady, and this is in the soft leather, so it's super soft, super supple. It comes with an adjustable and removable strap, so you just have some lobster claws in the back there. You could wear it as a top handle, you could wear it over the shoulder, you could wear it crossbody. And the reason why I purchased this bag is I actually have this exact same bag in a baby blue color that I purchased in 2024 on sale, and it's awesome. It carries so much, and I found so much utility in it that I thought it was worth purchasing a neutral color like a black. Although I didn't get this on sale, because typically at Mansur Gavriel, their staple handbags in those neutral colors don't really go on sale outside of big promotion times like Black Friday. I did buy it at Saks Fifth Avenue, and I think at that time there was a promotion that if you spend a certain amount, you get a gift card back. So that was cool. Also, if you have the American Express Platinum card, you get $50 every 6 months in credit at Saks. So that helped with this purchase. It paid for the tax. And just to show you, even though it's small, it's super roomy inside. And because how supple it is, it's easy for me to get things in and out of this bag. So this was one of those purchases where I felt like I had a void. I loved this bag in the blue. Black would make this even more versatile, and I've used this a number of times already this year, and I plan to use it a lot more in the years to come. Another handbag where I thought there was a void in my closet and handbag needs based on the outfits that I was wearing is a good classic beige bag. I've been on a hunt for this since 2023 into 2024, and going into 2025, I thought I was going to end up buying a beige bag from YSL or Saint Laurent because they do colors beautifully, especially beige. And then I was lucky enough to fall upon this handbag from APC. This is a very classic shape that APC does. And for those of you who are not familiar with APC, they do incredible, incredible leather goods. And this is the exact same beige shade that you would find at Saint Laurent. And it is exactly what I was looking for. It's an everyday type of bag. I can wear it with any outfit that calls for a beige or nude colored handbag. The hardware on it is beautifully crafted, very sturdy. It has some APC embossing for their logo right here in the front, so very subtle. And on the inside, it's quite roomy. Now, this is definitely more structured than the Mansur Gavriel bag that I just showed you, but because of its size, it still is quite easy to get my things in and out of the bag. There are two small slip pockets that are very flat, and so I don't put too much in there because, again, the structure of the handbag. The main compartment of this bag carries enough or everything that I would need on a day-to-day when on the go. This is not a removable strap. It's, again, a structured box leather handbag, but you can adjust it. I've worn it a handful of times, not as much as I thought I would have, because you'll see there are a lot more handbags to come in the year of 2025. But again, it's just the perfect beige, nudie beige color. And so when I travel or when and where I need something that is just neutral, this is a good bag for me to reach to. And in the handful of times that I've worn it, I haven't really necessarily been mindful. You know, it's again, day-to-day type of situations. I even took it to Portugal and I don't see a single scratch or scrape on this leather. So as I'd shared, APC does a beautiful, beautiful job with their leather goods. Speaking of Portugal, this fourth handbag that I purchased this year was purchased in Portugal, and it is a Louis Vuitton bag. One of the bags that I purchased back in like 2021 from Louis Vuitton is this really cool kind of cargo utility looking handbag, and it comes with a canvas guitar strap. I also bought a second canvas guitar strap in black so that I can make that bag all the more versatile, but that trend's kind of moved out. Not to say it won't ever come back in, but that really casual strap type of look is just not in. So I thought I would find an all leather or all monogram canvas strap from Louis Vuitton to switch out for that handbag. So I went into the LV in Lisbon. I believe their main kind of luxury shopping street is called Liberty Street. And there I was looking at their straps, and they didn't really have a lot of options, and I think that's just the options in general at Louis Vuitton. So I asked about a couple of other bags that I have had my eye on, and that's how I ended up purchasing this next bag, which is the ultra viral Speedy Nano. It's a take on the classic vintage Speedy handbag. It's literally that bag, but in miniature size or in nano size. And I've owned and own a number of Louis Vuitton handbags, so I know exactly what I'm gonna get. Canvas coating is incredible, the leather is awesome, and the strap this actually comes with is now not only a strap I could use for this mini Speedy, so I could wear it as a top handle, again, crossbody on the shoulder, but this removable strap will also work perfectly with that other cargo kind of utility Louis Vuitton handbag I was mentioning. I love a mini bag. I know bigger bags are back in style or coming back in style, and I do have some large handbags, but since I've moved to New York City, which has now been 10 years, I find the value in kind of crossbody or small handbags, because when you're out day to day, running errands, going to work, I don't have a vehicle where I just can get into my car, put my large bag on the seat. I have to actually carry it around. And so I find a lot of value in small handbags that carry a lot. So similar to the Mansur Gavriel handbag that I showed just a couple of moments ago, this Speedy, even though it looks super tiny, it actually carries so much. And so I'm very happy with this purchase. And again, knowing Louis Vuitton and having history in purchasing and owning their bags, I know I can beat up this canvas and it's going to stand the test of time. Okay, this is the part of the year where we started getting into unknown territory, meaning I didn't necessarily have a need for any of these bags, but I fell upon them and I fell in love with them, and thus I purchased them, taking us from 4 handbag purchases, those first 4 that I made that were on a wish list or some strategy of some sort to purchase in the year of 2025, to indulging myself in some kind of would be nice to have or wish list type items for down the line that I ended up purchasing this year. That first surprise purchase is this very cute shoulder handbag from Jacquemus. This is the first Jacquemus handbag that I own. I actually saw a couple of YouTubers that I love carrying this. One had it in this like super cool lime green color, which is, I think, very cute for summer months. And then I think I saw someone carrying it in a chocolate brown, but I came upon this black version of the handbag. I think this is their mini. They have one that's a little bit larger, but this is perfect for going out. It's slim, so there's not too much you can fit, but you could fit what you need. Things like your cell phone. There's a little card slot to put your ID and credit cards in, and then your keys, as well as 2, maybe 3 kind of cosmetic items like a lip gloss. And I actually bought this for a steal. I feel it was like hundreds of dollars cheaper than it retails for. I think this retails close to $1,000, and I got it for like $600 or $700 on Gilt.com. I've talked about Gilt.com in the past. That is an off-price luxury website. So if ever you are doing your research on a handbag you want to purchase, it doesn't hurt to look on Gilt.com to see if they have any overstock that was sold to them. You could purchase a handbag that you are eyeing for hundreds of dollars cheaper than you would purchase from the brand itself. The final 3 bags that I purchased in 2025 all happened while on a girls' trip to France. It was first in Paris for a weekend, then we went down to Nice for a couple of days and finished our trip in Saint-Tropez for about 4 days. So it was a great time, and there were handbags that were purchased. First up is this super cute leather kind of tubular sphere handbag. It's a shoulder handbag in this gorgeous chocolate brown color with the Miu Miu kind of subtly embossed on it. It has gold hardware, and it was just something that happened. We went into the Miu Miu because my girlfriend wanted to find a perfect little mini raffia bag. We had looked at Saint Laurent. She wanted to pop in Miu Miu, which is where she did find the little raffia bag that she now owns. While there, I was curious at looking at their Wander handbag, which is kind of similar to Miu Miu's version of a Bottega Jodi. And I had seen this handbag on other YouTubers in the past. I think someone owned it in a black, and then I also knew they did it in suede in some really fun bright colorways. But what I wasn't expecting to see is it in this chocolate brown leather version. And so I tried it on and I really liked it. I thought the price point was very fair, so I purchased it. The thing is, the inside, it does not have any inner pockets, but again, like the Louis Vuitton Speedy, like the Mansur Gavriel mini soft lady handbag, this is a mini bag, or it's a small bag, and it carries a lot. And I also love that with this kind of circular structure on the sides, it keeps the bag from opening like a crazy amount. So when it's on my shoulder and I'm opening it in and out, I have no fears that things that are in this bag are gonna spill out. Of course, before I set it down, I have to zip it up, but it's just really well made. Zipper works easy. It is a thin strap, but it's very malleable. So what I mean by that is these extra little straps, I thought at one point they were curling up, but they're not. Once I kind of pack it away in my closet, if I tuck the straps down just so they're not popping up, they lay flat. So it's really nice leather in that it takes shape and then readjusts and kind of settles back into its natural shape once it's resting. On the same block as the Miu Miu in that part of Paris that we were in is the new Alaia boutique. And there is an Alaia bag that I had on my wish list, if not for 2025, maybe in 2026. And I wanted to see if there were some colorways that were interesting for me. Now, Alaia in recent years has become uber popular with their flat sandals. There's that Mary Jane kind of like fishnet sandal. Their handbags have also been very popular. I mean, this is a legacy staple designer. So Alaia has been around for many years, and it's one of those if you know brands. But recently their more popular handbags is their Tekel handbag, which is that east-west handbag with the very sleek long shoulder straps, as well as their Core handbag, which is that heart shape. But the bag that I've had my eye on is the Mina bag, which is a very cute, very summer, I wanna say, handbag, because it has these awesome laser cut detailings on it. Every year they offer the Mina bag in multiple sizes, and there's always a black version and a white version of each of those sizes, but I wanted something with color, and I had already seen some of the Alaia colorways for 2025 while we were at Galerie Lafayette the day before. So we went into the boutique so I could really take a look at the handbag, and that is when I made this purchase. The handbag comes not only in this sage meets a mint meets a seafoam green color, but it also is in suede, where I didn't realize that the Mina came in anything aside from a leather. And so I was very happy with this purchase. This is the second to last smallest size. So I think there's one smaller, it's a size 18, it's very small. And I'm gonna double check, I think this is a size 20, but it's perfect in terms of everyday handbag. It holds a lot, but it's also not too large that I couldn't wear it to a more dressy event. And not only is it a top handle, it comes with this removable and adjustable strap. Again, I love a removable strap. I love an adjustable strap, crossbody, which I don't know, maybe crossbody for this, I'm not sure, a long shoulder bag, but I have more often than not just worn it as a top handle or on the crook of my arm. Another cool feature about this handbag is because of this laser cutting, it's not gonna have any interior pockets, because the beauty of it is you don't wanna line it so that it has kind of that see-through look. But what they offer in these handbags is this removable little pouch where I could put in my credit cards and my ID and not have to worry about that. I misspoke. It's not removable, but all good. It's very small and flat and supple, so it hasn't been a nuisance to me when I'm taking things in and out of the bag. It's beautifully lined with this gorgeous neutral beige leather interior, and it has a subtle Alaia embossing at the bottom of the handbag. I wouldn't say this was necessarily impulse because I've done a lot of research on this bag, but again, I was not expecting to purchase it on this trip. I'm happy that I did. The thing about this trip is I took it in mid-July, and really in New York City, you have the rest of July and the rest of August. It's still very warm in September, but after Labor Day, everyone kind of has fall in their mindset. So even though it's warm, we're really pulling out those autumnal colors. And so I haven't worn this nearly as much as I'd like to. So I'm very, very excited for 2026. Honestly, for any of the handbags that I purchased that are a light or even a pastel colorway, very excited to wear in 2026. It's just something that I feel is a everyday bag that gives your outfit a little extra something. And the final purchase I made in 2025, which was a complete impulse, happened in Saint-Tropez. It was not on my radar. This brand is a brand that I do not currently own or did not own at that time in my handbag collection, which I figured one day I would, but it would be in one of their more classic kind of silhouettes of handbags. And that is a Fendi bag. We were at the Fendi trying on some shoes, and my friend saw this hanging on a mannequin, and I just had to have it. And that is this very cute vanity handbag. It's a little bright. Let's see. Let's do this. There we go. It's in their kind of classic leather that has this like puffy quilting on it. And believe it or not, I was always afraid of this leather, but it's quite durable. And it's not only a kind of top handle vanity, it does have a removable and adjustable straps. Let me pull that out. Here we go. Oh, sorry, it's removable, it's not adjustable, but it is the perfect length, whether I wear it as a shoulder or if I needed to wear it as a crossbody, which is rare for someone of my height. I'm only 5'2", so I lucked out. Gorgeous little chain detail at the bottom. And what I really like about this vanity is, even though a Fendi vanity was not on my radar, I did think that the vanity handbags that have been very trendy recently are super cute. But the issue I had with them, or have with them, is many of them, including the ones like Chanel where you pay a lot of money, is you hook the strap at the top of the kind of opening of the handbag, which it's like, okay, so then when I open it, the straps are up here, will all this fall out, or it doesn't feel as fortified. And this particular one, you attach the straps on the side of the actual body of the bag. And so it'll just stay resting, and I just have to open the top, zip it, but the base of the bag or the main body of the bag doesn't go flopping because it is secured with the strap. So I really like that detail. I didn't even really notice it until I got back to our hotel and opened it. The thing I also love about this bag and this leather, if anyone's ever questioned this leather from Fendi, is I accidentally wore this with, I think it was like a black linen dress. It was super cute. Maybe it was like a denim dress, and there was some color transfer, and that was my bad, I know. But I have these very tiny and lightweight alcohol wiping pads that I usually use for like tech accessories, and it's light because it's so small, so it's not soaked in a lot of alcohol. And I use that to kind of dab this leather to see if I could get that color transfer off, and it came right off. didn't do anything to the leather, so this isn't some, you know, cheapy kind of yellow coating on a leather. And I got very lucky. I'm gonna be more mindful, but it was good to know that this is easy to wipe in the case that something of this light of color were to get something on it. Similar to the Alaia handbag, because I purchased this kind of middle of the summer and you don't really wear your yellows and all that once it's September. I'm very excited to wear this bag in spring and summer of 2026. I'll just quickly show you the inside. There is a little slip pocket to put your cards and ID, and then tons of space on the inside. Again, for a city girl like me, I don't need much on a day-to-day, and I find value in these small bags just so that I don't have anything large or too heavy that I have to carry around with me all day when running errands. As I mentioned earlier, my offer still stands. Any of the handbag purchases that I've shared with you, if you have any questions at all about the handbags that I didn't cover, leave a comment below and I'll be sure to respond to you with the best answer that I can offer. And of course, if I don't know something, I'll let you know I don't know. But really, if you have questions about wearability, usability, things of that sort, or maybe if you have any questions about other handbags from these brands that I may also have done some research on or seen on any of the trips when I purchased these bags, it's worth asking the question and maybe I can help you with an answer. But before we say goodbye, I mentioned that I acquired 3 additional handbags for my sister, and that was on a trip back out to California later in the summer. My sister was clearing out her closet. She's a lot more minimalistic than I am, and she has a beautiful collection of handbags, but there's really those 5, maybe 7 handbags that she rotates through. What does she need for daytime? What does she need for evening time? What's kind of that special Chanel bag that she wears on occasions? Things of that sort. There's a lot of handbags that she had purchased in her 20s and even in her 30s that she may not be wearing as much anymore. So she gave me a couple of her bags that she had bought in her mid-20s, which I'm like, oh my gosh, these bags are genuinely vintage at this point. I think one bag even hit 20 years, so that's like technically vintage. And I was super excited. I did ask her over and over, are you sure? She's like, no, I don't wear them. I don't have any plans to wear them. I know you like to wear handbags and you rotate your handbags, so go ahead and take them. Now, if she ever wanted them back, I'd of course give them back. Also, her handbags, my handbags, especially since I'm child-free, all of her handbags are gonna go to her 2 daughters anyway, so they'll be full circle. But I have definitely enjoyed these handbags since she's given them to me, and I plan on wearing them for years to come. So let me show them to you now. I just acquired 2 Gucci handbags and 1 Louis Vuitton handbag. And this first one is like viral at this point in terms of buying it off secondhand market. Maybe they'll do a reissue. Maybe they already did a reissue. I don't know, but it is this very popular canvas tote bag, and I'd say it's like on the smaller side of a tote bag, which is perfect. Like, I'm looking for a bag this size in black, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a designer, but just the absolute functionality of this bag is incredible. And just to show you kind of the vintageness of it, even though it has leather on the bottom and it has these feet, the corners are definitely tearing, and so maybe in a couple of years I will take it to a leather specialist or a cobbler and they can maybe fortify these corners. But otherwise, after 20 years, it's held up really well. The hardware is in great condition. This has kind of that pewter silver hardware. The leather is in great condition. And on the inside, there is a zipper pocket that runs pretty deep. And let me show you the phone holder. This is the phone holder. So it would fit, like back then, small Nokia phones that didn't flip. I think that's what this was designed for, but I'm pretty sure those Motorola Razrs also fit in here. Certainly not made for an iPhone. So I love that detail about this, which just like makes it so nostalgic to me. And I remember our 20s fondly, and when me and my sister were really getting into designer handbags. And so I super appreciate her for lending or giving this to me, and I wear this a lot. The next is another Gucci canvas handbag, and that is this cutie little shoulder pochette. I'm pretty sure they sell a reissue version of this, probably for hundreds, if not $1,000 more than it was when we purchased these back in our 20s. I actually had the brown canvas version of this that I'd since sold regretfully, and my sister had the black version. So now I have a really cute kind of easy going out handbag. Actually, I could even wear it day to day. This is very similar to the Miu Miu, very similar in size to the Miu Miu. The one thing is the Miu Miu, I think the structure is a little bit better. I had mentioned when the zipper is open, I don't feel like my things are going to spill out. Whereas with this Gucci one, I had to be mindful because it opens so much wider that, especially on your shoulder, if you're opening it, I have to be very careful that things don't tip out. But otherwise, no complaints. In great condition, great condition. And I know my sister wore this a lot in her 20s. And even though it may have just been sitting in her closet for the last 5 to 10 years that she's worn it, this idea that luxury, you're not getting quality, and maybe people will say, well, it's because you bought this 20 years ago, the quality was different. I can certainly hear people's point of view on that, but in my experience and my opinion, the quality of these bags hold up. Maybe not at the same level of the prices that they're charging. The value is really what you place on it. And if you think it's worth spending that money, then it feels valuable to you. If you don't feel like it's worth that money and you don't spend the money, then it's not that value to you. But to say that the standard and the quality of these luxury handbags is similar to anything that you buy at even a mid-range brand, or certainly kind of entry price point brands, even this idea that you're comparing it to things you get off Canal Street is not at all the reality of my experience and the experience of many people who also purchase luxury handbags. What you get off Canal Street, what you get is what you get. It's a $20 handbag that will fall apart, whereas with these, they do stand the test of time if you take care of them well. Doesn't mean you can't wear them and love them, but just make sure that you are storing them away in your closets nicely and you give it the TLC that it deserves because you paid your hard-earned money to purchase these. And the final vintage bag that I acquired, I actually wasn't gonna bring this back with me, but she was like, no, is it because you don't like it? And I did actually like it, but I'll explain why I was questioning it. And that is another little pochette, but this one's from Louis Vuitton in their damier print and in that kind of white and gray print, whereas their kind of traditional colorway are the browns and the tans. So the reason why I was questioning bringing this is even though it has this chain strap and it came with the chain strap, it also comes with a crossbody, but those crossbody straps back then were not adjustable, and you must be 5'6", 5'8", 5'10" to wear it. My sister is taller than me. For me, with the crossbody strap, which did not adjust, it was like down to like my mid thigh. So I was like, no, there's no way I'm gonna wear it. But it wasn't until she said it comes with a chain, which I think was on the inside, tucked away in the bag. I was like, oh, okay, I could totally wear it as a shoulder bag. And this one is in their canvas. This has definitely been loved. I'll share why. Inside, it's very simple. It does not have any pockets, but all good. It fits a lot. You can see there's a lot of color transfer on it, so it looks like kind of denim, or maybe it's gone a little blue-green over the years because I'm pretty sure it's a brass zipper, and we know that brass, like pennies, will go green. So maybe there's something that a cobbler can do for it. There are scuff marks on the Louis Vuitton kind of hardware on the front, but I don't know, I feel like it gives a character. There's also this like random pink highlighter. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, there we go. So no idea where that came from, but I'm pretty sure it could be cleaned off. It's just been fun, and with the colorway, it's definitely a more spring summer bag, and I did wear this a couple of times as well. And again, I'm so grateful to my sister because I love handbags. I know she definitely loved them at one point. She does like them, but she is all good with her kind of small collection, and she really believes that I do a good job of rotating through wearing my handbags. So she just thought, you know what, they should be with you. I will keep them safe, I will wear them with love, and one day I will pass them on to my little nieces. And that brings us to the end all of the handbags that I purchased in 2025, all 8 of them, when I thought I was only gonna buy 3, maybe 4, but I love them all and I cannot wait to continue wearing them and wear them more in the months that it feels more appropriate. I'm also so incredibly grateful and excited for the 3 vintage bags that I acquired from my sister. Those, especially the brown tote bag and the black kind of mini pochette bag, I can wear throughout the winter and really any time of the year. So super grateful that I could add even more to my handbag collection. Which brings me to 2026 outlook. Listen, never say never, but where in 24 I had bought 8 handbags and I thought in 2025 I'd only buy a handful. In 2025 I bought another 8, and I have some other handbags that I received that I can have a lot of fun with. So for 2026, I don't need any more handbags. Yes, there's a wish list. Yes, there's always gonna be a want list, but nothing on that wish list is this like gnawing desire. So I'm not gonna be foolish enough to say 0 handbags, but I really genuinely do not believe it will be anywhere near 8. Maybe a couple, we'll see. And why I can say that with a little more confidence is one thing that I didn't purchase this year that I'm really looking to purchase in 2026 is adding to my jewelry collection. And some of these handbags, especially the Chanel's, but even when you are thinking about the Fendis and the Miu Miu's, in 2024, I bought a Bottega. These are pricey handbags. They're in the thousands, if not multiple thousands of dollars, which is a lot of money. And I really also find a lot of value in gold and real jewelry. And I do believe that building out that collection is also in my best interest. I certainly find more value in jewelry than in handbags. And again, I work really hard. My husband works really hard. You know, we make sure that we are set up for our future, but we also want to indulge in the things that bring us happiness. And so after thinking about my future self, when it comes to treating myself, I think for 2026, I have a strong feeling it's going to be around jewelry over handbags, but all good because now I have a massive collection that I can wear for years to come. And in 2026, I will do an updated full luxury handbag collection. What you can expect from me in the upcoming weeks is I have not yet done a full mid-range or mid-luxury handbag collection. So the stuff that costs you anywhere from a couple $100s to maybe $1,000, I owe that to you. But in 2026, I will do a full designer handbag collection video, including these newest pieces that I purchased or received this year. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, leave a comment below, even if you don't have any questions about the handbags that I purchased, what was your favorite purchase, what's on your wish list for 2026, or maybe even your holiday wish list in 2025. Also, if you have not yet subscribed and you enjoyed this content, you don't want to miss what I have coming for you, so hit the subscribe button now. And for all of you, thanks again for watching, and I will see you in a future one. Bye.